The Sly and the Family Stone documentary is on Hulu right now. I haven't seen it yet, but I just wanted to provide a little insight because, when Drake, has been on his historic run, I mean, at least, prior to getting dissed like crazy and humiliated by Kendrick Lamar, but Drake, it had long been commented on that his uncle is a bass player who's been in the industry, Larry Graham, right? Well, I just want to give a little more context into exactly who Larry Graham was. Like, this wasn't just any bass player. He not only founded the 70s funk band Graham Central Station, and he had some solo success in the 80s just under his own name, Larry Graham, but he was an original member of Sly and the Family Stone. Like, throughout their whole run, like from their first album through There's a Riot Going On. So like their first 5 or 6 albums, I'm talking about Dance to the Music, Stand, which had Everyday People, There's a Riot Going On with Family Affair, all the way up to 1972. So that was just before like Fresh, which was the Sly and the Family Stone album with If You Want Me to Stay. So from the band's conception, like 66, their first album, 67, all the way to 72, Larry Graham was the bass player in Sly and the Family Stone. And not only that, but he's known to be an innovator on how the bass is played. He developed a style that became known as thumping and plucking, also known as the slap bass technique. So when you hear like a bass sound like the person slapping their thumb against the bass, so it makes like a percussive sound, so it kind of sounds like there's a drum going on with the bass playing. He pioneered that, and it was later adopted by like Bootsy Collins and P-Funk, Parliament Funkadelic. Bootsy Collins actually attributes his style to Larry Graham as an influence. So again, Drake's uncle, Larry Graham, isn't just any bass player. That was Sly and the Family Stone's innovating bass player, who again then later started Graham Central Station, who themselves had a really good run in the 70s. And it should also be mentioned, when Sly and the Family Stone started to like experience turmoil within the band, they had a lot of inner band turmoil. They started, picking up on drugs, and they were all, smoking herb before, but when they moved to LA in 69, they started messing with the harder stuff, cocaine, PCP. But over time, there was a big friction that developed between the Stone brothers, that would be, Sylvester Sly Stewart Sly Stone, and his brother, another original founding member, Freddie Stone. There was a friction between them and Larry Graham, to the point where there was a brawl where, Sly's entourage was fighting with Larry Graham's entourage. And there was like a rumor that Larry Graham had hired a hitman to kill Sly. Like, it got pretty damn ugly. And reportedly during the brawl, Larry Graham kind of snuck out, and the getaway driver was one of the musicians in Sly and the Family Stone, Pat Rizzo, who actually just passed away in 2021. But yeah, that was kind of the incident that sealed the deal. And then Larry Graham, left the band. And actually, Rose Stone, that's Sly and Freddie Stone's sister, she became a member of Graham Central Station. At one point, Lenny Williams was also a member of that band. Lenny Williams, for you 70s R&B soul fans, he's the one who sang "'Cause I Love You." That's the oh, 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 oh. But for the bulk of Graham Central Station's main run, Larry Graham was the main vocalist and bass player. But yeah, Drake's uncle, played the bass on classics like Everyday People, Dance to the Music. One of my favorites on There's a Riot Going On is Just Like a Baby. Pretty awesome and kind of slowed down song. Yeah, Larry Graham had some hits, and he had some, some hits with Graham Central Station like Can You Handle It, It's All Right, Your Love, The Jam. He had some solo hits like One in a Million You. That was like a US top 10 song in 1980. I think it hit like number 9 on the Billboard Hot 100. Serious hit. I think it was like number 1 on the US R&B chart. That was a solo Larry Graham song. But yeah, a lot of people attribute their style to Larry Graham, and they cite him as an influence, like Flea from Red Hot Chili Peppers, Les Claypool from Primus, again, Bootsy Collins, Bernard Edwards from Chic, and several more. But yeah, let me know if you already knew this. I know that it's been, it was widely kind of reported that, yeah, Drake's uncle was a funky bass player, but I don't know if they understood, and I don't know how widely it's been discussed exactly how funky and how influential, and that, again, he was in Sly and the Family Stone, not only Graham Central Station. But yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Was this news to you, or were you pretty much already aware? I can't wait to see this Sly and the Family Stone documentary. I'm probably going to be reporting back on that shortly. But yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Like the video, subscribe to the channel if you love music like I do. I'm Woog. Thanks for tuning in.